What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Theme Pahk podcast. I am your host, Frankie Screams, and today we have an emergency podcast for you. Holy crap. I was not even going to record an episode today, but we have to. So this is an emergency podcast situation. I don't have my notes as clear and condensed as I usually like to have them, but we had to record today because this morning, Universal Studios officially released Halloween Horror Nights tickets. Not only that, but about 45 minutes ago, they officially announced the Fallout Haunted House attraction at Halloween Horror Nights this year. So I've got all the details. We're going to jump right into it. Holy shit. This is my first experience covering theme park news where it's just a chaotic day from start and probably till finish, but I'm so excited. So we're going to keep this one on the shorter end as far as stories go. I think we've only got like 3 or 4 stories total. It's all Halloween Horror Nights related. And not only that, like I'm stoked for that as well. But not only that, yesterday I officially confirmed my return to Orlando for late September, early October. So as of now, I'm going back in early October. We'll get into the details of that trip coming up on a different episode of the podcast, but I am very, very excited. I'm spending a week in Orlando, going to be doing Halloween Horror Nights, going to be doing some Disney parks, Universal parks, all of it. It's going to be probably the best trip ever, which is hard to top because the trip that I just did was so much fun, but it's looking like October will be an even crazier trip for me in Orlando. So excited for all of this stuff, man. I am just on the moon right now. So happy. Is that even a thing, saying you're on the moon? I don't think so. I think it's over the moon. I'm over the moon excited with theme park news today. So let me just take a quick sip of my Monster Energy Zero Sugar. Where is that sponsorship, Monster? Waiting for it. So as you can tell, I am very excited today. I am in a chaotic mood. I don't know where to look. I don't know where to turn. I don't know what to say. It's just so much happening at once. But I had to hit record and get a podcast going so I can let you guys know all the details of what is going on. This shit is crazy. And I did want to mention, I know I promised Six Flags news, but I didn't have time to get the stories going. There is more Six Flags news that has been popping in. Hopefully this weekend or early next week, I'll be able to record another episode of the podcast and break down a bunch of this Six Flags news going on. There's also other non-Universal, non-Disney related theme park news I would love to find some time to get to. But I have to have my priorities in check. And my priorities right now is Halloween Horror Nights. Let's get into story number 1. HHN 34 tickets are live. Halloween Horror Nights 34 is officially returning to Universal Studios Florida and Universal Studios Hollywood. It's starting earlier than ever on August 29th and running all the way through November 2nd. So I'm going to break down all the different ticket tiers that are available right now. I just want to give you the heads up. If you're new to HHN, these ticket tiers and pricing options and all that stuff, it can get very complicated. So if you do have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. I will try my best to answer. If not, I'm sure a listener will also be able to leave a comment if they know the information. Because let's be real, guys, I am new to Halloween Horror Nights. This will be my first year attending. This is my first year completely diving into it. I usually just avoid it, but this year I'm going full force with it. So let's start breaking down all these tickets that they did make available starting today. So first off, single night tickets are starting at $82.99, the same as last year, with the pricing varying by date. So it starts at $82.99, but like the weekends, you're already seeing the weekends are up to like $100. I think it goes up to like $109 on certain weekends. And it will continue to raise as the tickets become more limited for Halloween Horror Nights. Those ticket prices will go up. So right now, if the single night tickets, the highest you're seeing is like 100, 110, there's a good chance come October when we're in the thick of it, those tickets will be way higher. And like I said, somebody with more experience with Halloween Horror Nights can probably drop a comment and let us know what that is like. So recap real quick. Single night tickets starting at $82.99. Moving on, express passes are also available. So this is an add-on that you buy on top of your single night tickets. So the express passes are also available starting at $139.99 per person. And that is a $10 increase from last year. Obviously, you guys probably know this, but real quick, these express passes, they give you access to shorter lines at houses and rides, usually cutting wait times in half, if not more. It really just depends on the day that you're going, or I should say the night that you're going. But they're not front of line skips, all right? So just because you have a regular express pass does not mean you're going to get straight to the front of the lines. You're going to go into a different express line. And like I said, usually it cuts the time in half, if not more. Moving on, we do have the return of the RIP tours, and they're starting at $370 per person. The RIP tours include a priority VIP access to every haunted house, once per house, reserved show seating, valet parking, pre-tour reception at Cafe La Bamba, unlimited express for rides before or after your tour, and a lanyard and pin. You can also book a private RIP tour for your group of 10 or more with your own custom itinerary and unlimited house access. I do not have pricing on the private RIP tours, but if you are interested in a regular old RIP tour, it's $370. It's a lot of money, guys, but I do see a lot of positive reviews for the RIP tour, the RIP tour. I see a lot of people saying if you're only going to be at Halloween Horror Nights for one night and you want to experience everything, including the shows, the food, the houses, this is the way to go. It's $370, but hey, at least you know you're going to be able to do everything. You're not going to wait in any lines, and you're going to have the time of your life. But again, it's one of those kind of things I always get into. It depends on your personal situation. Do you have a family of 5, or are you just going by yourself or with, your girlfriend or your boyfriend? When it gets to that kind of a level, when you're not having to pay for so many people, it quickly becomes worth it. But I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not doing that. $370 per person is a lot of money. I can't afford it. But yeah, so moving on from the RIP tours, the Unmasking the Horrors tour is returning. This is the daytime lights on behind the scenes experience. There's a 3-house option starting at $84.99 and a 6-house option going from $170, which also includes a buffet lunch. So, you've got choices. If you want to do the Unmasking the Horror tours, either $85 or $170 are your options for the 2 different tiers. No Halloween Horror Nights ticket is required for these. So this is a separate thing that you can buy. You don't need to have the Halloween Horror Nights ticket as well. If you didn't know, you get to go through some of these houses with the lights on. They give you a tour. They give you information. The tour guide gives you a bunch of information on the house, and I guess maybe even some stories on the build of it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know too much about the Unmasking the Horrors tour. I'm pretty sure this is a relatively new experience. It might be even just like the second year that they've done this. I think it's a really cool idea. If you're a diehard fan of attractions, theme parks, or even specifically like haunted houses, this is right up your alley. Like, I could see diehards doing this, paying the $85 to do this, and then paying another $85 to $100 for the regular experience too. Like, if you want to get a full day's worth of Halloween Horror Nights experiences, you might want to add this. This might be cool. I personally wouldn't do it before I go to the houses. I would do this after I go to the houses. So say I was there for 2 nights. Night 1, I would do Halloween Horror Nights the regular way. And then the next day, I would do the Unmasking the Horrors tour. That way you don't spoil anything. you don't ruin the surprises and things like that. Moving on to this other ticket tier option that they have. Scream early tickets are back as well. They let you enter Universal Studios Florida as early as 3 p.m. on the same day as your Halloween Horror Nights tickets. They start at $55. So this is an add-on ticket, the Scream early tickets. You pay $55 and now you're able to get into the park earlier, starting at 3 p.m., where you'll be able to get on some select rides, I believe, and you will be able to get in queue areas to line up for some of these houses to be the first ones in once Halloween Horror Nights officially opens. So for Scream early tickets, I do have my info a little bit blurry on that one. I do need to do more research. I suggest you do the same if this sounds like something you're interested in. But I'm pretty sure, like I said, you get your Halloween Horror Nights tickets, say you spend $85 on that, then you do the $55 for Scream early tickets. That means that you get into Universal Studios starting at 3 p.m. and you get to get on some rides, experience some different attractions there. And then, like I said, queue up and get into the first dibs line for Halloween Horror Nights attractions and houses. And then lastly, Premium Night Scream is officially confirmed to return on Thursday, August 28th, the night before Halloween Horror 34 kicks off. This is a one-night only, limited capacity preview night with all the haunted houses, but with shorter waits, staggered group entry, and unlimited select food and non-alcoholic drinks included. Tickets are $375. That is $375 for the Premium Scream Night on Thursday, August 28th, one night before it officially opens to the public. And for the first time ever, costumes are allowed at Halloween Horror Nights Premium Scream Night. I don't know if that means costumes are allowed every other night. Probably not. But they did mention in the section for Premium Scream Night, costumes are allowed, however, no masks. So that reminds me of costume day or like Halloween day when I was in school. Like you could go to school wearing a costume, but you couldn't wear a mask. So it was like makeup or accessories, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, costumes are allowed, no masks. This event sold out fast last year. So if you're trying to beat the crowds, this is a solid way to do it. So Premium Night Scream, that sounds like a blast. I wish I had the money right now to grab that ticket before it sells out. You get to go on Thursday, August 28th and experience Halloween Horror Nights at a limited capacity. Plus you're getting, free drinks, free food, shorter wait times. And then what really piques my interest is the staggered group entry. So let me break that down and tell you what that means. Regular nights at Halloween Horror Nights, it's just one continuous line constantly flowing through the haunted house attractions. On Premium Scream Night for one night only, August 28th, they allow, or I should say they do, staggered group entry. This is more in line with what you're used to at other haunted house attractions where you go through the house as a group. So they let you in 5 to 6 to 7 to 10 people at a time, and the groups go in separately, spaced out. So you're experiencing it a little bit more in a relaxed, I wouldn't say relaxed because you're in a haunted house, but you're experiencing the house at a little bit slower of a pace. You don't feel as rushed to keep on walking because you've got a stampede behind you. So man, if you're a diehard Halloween Horror Nights fan, this is the way to go. I would highly recommend doing the Premium Scream Night if you can afford it at $375. If you can't though, hey, tickets are starting at, tickets are starting at $82.99 for those single night tickets. Whew, man. And I'm not even done yet with the Halloween Horror Nights news, but that is a lot to break down just for tickets. That shit is crazy. If you're new to this, you're probably overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. So I can just imagine how some of your guys' heads are just spinning with all of this information. Okay, and one more thing on those Halloween Horror Nights tickets. Still no news on multi-night passes, but if it follows last year's pattern, expect those to drop sometime in July. So if you're somebody that is definitely going to be going to Halloween Horror Nights for a couple of nights, more than one night, now isn't the time to buy your tickets. You're going to want to wait till those multi-night passes become available. That way you can bundle up and save some money. So do not buy your tickets yet if you're going more than one night on your trip for Halloween Horror Nights. Oh, hold on. And one more bit of news for the pass holders trying to go to Halloween Horror Nights. Premium annual pass holders will need to make a reservation to use their free Halloween Horror Nights ticket. So if you're a premium annual pass holder for Universal Studios, you do get one night into Halloween Horror Nights, which I think is one of the coolest perks of a premium annual pass holder. You will need to make reservations for that. You can't just show up and do it. You have to let them know ahead of time, and there probably will be some blackout dates on that. Look into that. Let me know what that is like. I'm not a premium annual pass holder right now, so I don't know even what it's showing. But all right, guys, let's move on to our second giant story of the morning, afternoon, whatever this is right now. I've lost track of time. Story number 2, Fallout comes to Halloween Horror Nights. Big news just dropped. For the first time ever, Fallout is coming to Halloween Horror Nights, and it's confirmed for both Universal Orlando and Hollywood. The Haunted House opens August 29th in Orlando and September 4th in Hollywood, and it lets fans experience key moments from Fallout's first season plus more. Thanks to an IGN interview with Halloween Horror Nights creative directors, we now have tons of details. Here's the setup. Guests will enter Vault 33 following Lucy as she escapes a brutal massacre and uncovers a hidden evil. From there, you're launched into the wasteland, dodging raiders, scavengers, rad roaches, and yes, you'll hit iconic locations like the Super Duper Mart and meet Maximus in his massive T-60 power armor. These aren't just random Fallout aesthetics. The creators told IGN they've packed the house with deep Fallout lore, nods, and Easter eggs. One of the directors, Matthew Flood, said this: "We want fans to say, I recognize this. I'm in a Fallout vault. How cool is that?" And if you're wondering how detailed this thing is, John Murdy, the creative director in Hollywood, said this: his writing treatment was 100 pages long, featuring everything from the storyline to tech specs for the team. As for the difference between the two parks, Hollywood will have a fully animated power armor animatronic, while Orlando features a big final battle moment with nods to Philly and other Fallout lore. And for you superfans, keep your eyes peeled. They teased that a Pip-Boy will be hidden in the house, and there are Easter eggs scattered everywhere, in the windows, storefronts, even the floor. So if you're brave enough to walk through more than once, look closer. And quoting Murdy here, the creative director from Hollywood, he says, "It's gruesome, it's scary, it's got monsters, mutants, ghouls. It's everything HHN fans want. And it's Fallout. What more could you want?" Yeah, that's that. And then real quick, Fallout merch has already been spotted at All Hallows Boutique and Islands of Adventure at Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida. It's happening. It's happening, guys. The graphics are up. We're seeing it. We've got even a video in their announcement on social media. They even posted like a video teaser trailer, which was pretty good in my opinion. I thought it was actually not a bad video. So yeah, the teases are going strong. The information is out there with this IGN article. But yeah, guys, we are so there. Here is the picture, the poster. Looks really, really cool. We've made it. We've made it. We finally have our first house announcement. I'm so happy for fans of Fallout. That is a huge fan base, and they have been eating lately, straight up. They have had new games coming out, mobile games coming out. a smash hit of a TV show on Amazon Prime, and now they are getting their own haunted house for the first time ever at HHN. Shout out to my best friend, Corey. I know he is stoked as hell for this opportunity. He's going with me on my trip in October, and it's just shaping up to be like the best trip ever for this dude. He's a huge Star Wars fan. He's never been to Hollywood Studios since they've had Galaxy's Edge. So on this trip, he's going to be able to experience Galaxy's Edge for the first time, a Fallout haunted house. I mean, he gets to go to Epic Universe. Like, this dude is going to be living in all of his glory for this trip coming up that we have in August. And I'm sure that same situation is happening for tons of other people out there. So I'm really happy for you guys. One other story for Halloween Horror Nights, real small thing here, but in that interview with the creative directors for Halloween Horror Nights and for the Fallout house, John Murdy did have a quote about Five Nights at Freddy's. So let me just read what I wrote here. I put, and before we wrap this up, we've got one more chilling tease straight from HHN Hollywood's John Murdy about the upcoming Five Nights at Freddy's experience. He says, this is all he said, "When you experience this, it is literally like living in the movie." So that's all we got for now. More vague talk for Five Nights at Freddy's, but that does give me hope that this is going to be something massive. This isn't going to be a scare zone photo op thing like people were saying. This is going to be a crazy house. That's what I think. It's going to be one of the 10 houses, and it's going to be insane. The animatronics are going to be crazy. It's just going to be next level. Final story. And this might not interest you if you're not going to Japan anytime soon, but I do want to get this out there. Story number 3, Halloween Horror Nights Japan plus some park updates. While we're on the topic of Halloween Horror Nights, let's take a quick trip overseas. Universal Studios Japan has confirmed that their HHN event will run September 5th through November 3rd. Their lineup includes fan favorites like Street Zombies, The Return of the Zombie Dance, a new haunted walkthrough called Factory Affair Zombie Tour of Despair, plus anime horror crossovers like Chainsaw Man, The Chaos 4D, and Chainsaw Man Hollywood Dream, which will be running forwards and backwards on the coaster. They've also got a Resident Evil Knights of Heroes, Chucky's Carnival of Chaos, and a spooky Jurassic Park overlay called Jurassic Park in the Dark, which will be available both at daytime and nighttime. So what that is the ride will be presented to guests in the dark. So it's an overlay on the Jurassic Park ride that they have there. Also in Japan news, Takuya Murayama just stepped in as the new head of Universal Studios Japan. He says he wants to grow the park, and that includes expanding themed lands like Super Nintendo World, which just added Donkey Kong Country earlier this year. And with Harry Potter being so popular in Japan and how Orlando's Wizarding World now spans 3 parks, it wouldn't surprise anybody if Japan gets a major expansion next in the Harry Potter world. So that's just some quick Japan news for you. If any of that kind of stuff interests you, just want to make sure it got on your radar. All right, guys, that is it for today's Halloween Horror Nights themed episode. Really big day for us. So excited for all the fans out there. Stoked for myself as well. So glad that I booked the trip when I did. We got room rates at a great price. As far as my trip goes, in a future episode, I will break things down, how I got round trip flights for just about $120. I'll talk about what my plans are, where I want to go, maybe even ask you guys for some advice. But shout out to you guys for tuning back into a Theme Pahk podcast. Subscribe if you found me through one of the podcast apps out there like Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Even if you're using ancient technology like I do, I use an app called the Podcast Republic. It's not popular at all. I've used it for like 15 years and I don't like to change my ways. So I still have Podcast Republic. It's a great app. I mean, it gets the job done. It's really, It stays updated. They fix bugs right away. It's just I never hear anybody talk about it. But yeah, whatever app you're listening to me as far as podcasts go, if you can, make sure you hit subscribe. Leave a review. It would help me a ton. I'm still a brand new show. We're trying to grow this thing out. We're trying to expand the brand. So yeah, do that for me if you're listening on podcast platforms. If you're on YouTube, be sure to hit like and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment for me. I would really appreciate that as well. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Be sure to follow me on social media. My personal is at Frankie Screams with a Z. And then the show has social media as well. It's at Theme Pahk Pod. That is Park with an H, not an R, Pahk, if you didn't pick up on that one yet. Yeah, follow me on those social media pages. Also, we do have a show email. The email is themepahkpod@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Send me a message. I will read it on the show if it's appropriate. You can ask me a question. You can tell me some of your ideas. You can make a statement. Maybe there's something I messed up on that you can fix and correct for me. Whatever you guys want to do. I would love to get to a mailbag segment someday once we build up the audience a little bit. So yeah, guys, that's it for today's episode. I will probably see you guys within the next couple of days. I think we are officially off to the races when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights news. We will probably have more emergency podcasts coming up in the future just for Horror Nights. But like I said, I do want to get to a Six Flags episode very soon and all kinds of things. Subscribe to the YouTube. We got the exclusive YouTube videos coming out very soon. This weekend, a second episode of Exploring the Internet will be dropping. Hit like, hit subscribe. Send me an email, all that good stuff. Holy fuck, guys. Halloween Horror Nights, we are officially in business. I'm going to buy my tickets tonight for this shit. Hopefully you guys can too. I really appreciate you guys watching. I will see you next time. Take care. Peace out.